Kesi Jackson, and I use they, them pronouns. I am a third-year student majoring in dance and minoring in Portuguese and have the privilege of attending Scripps College. I grew up in a place where the air is equally heavy with racism as it is humidity. Being raised in Tallahassee, Florida gave me an awareness of the distinct ways that I felt different, felt unsafe for daring to present outside of the homogeneity of normal. My own politics are deeply intertwined with those of Frederick Douglass due to the reality that our bodies remain a site of systemic violence. To be disabled, non-binary, queer, black, and poor is to feel the brunt of hatred against what is construed as different. Like Mr. Douglass, those of us who reside within these constructs know better. We know of the power that lies within a scorned body. I have sought out revolutionaries of the past, indigenous feminists, grassroots organizations, radical black lesbians, disabled activists, and those who were enslaved, worn down, and fed up, to fill my soul with a language of care, with a fiery drive to render something uplifting, to aid in my ambition to create a world grounded in a place of listening, to develop a politics of attentiveness that induce us to hold space for one another. Before I transferred to Scripps College, I attended Smith College. My last semester there, I revived MISC, Multi-Ethnic Interracial Smith College, a historical organization for students from multinational and multiracial backgrounds. I reinstated the organization because I saw the need on campus for students to have a space where we could be heard without judgment, to express ourselves freely and feel safe together. As co-chair, I worked incredibly hard to elevate the voices of marginalized students of color through an intercollegiate coalition known as Unity, and to advocate for all students of color on campus. I am driven to create pathways for others to not just live in their bodies, but to feel safe in them. I am interested in creating physical spaces for healing, to come together to imagine our own pathways to freedom. In the future, I want to create an intentional community, to nourish my own organic farm, uphold a performance space and residential community for artists of color. My dream is to facilitate a transient embodied exchange, to enable artists of color to bring forth what they've encountered into the world and uplift their joy, creativity, and positionality. This will be a space to learn about, create work, and witness art that is moving people towards positive change as a site for evocative, reflective, communicative knowledge production. To make art is to be grounded in a greater history of subversive activism, the solace of expression, a rich realm of faith in being oneself. Ultimately, I aspire to provide a space to imagine alternative futures. The sheer honesty of creation demands that we reconsider, question, and generate ways to move forward. As a Frederick Douglass Global Fellow, I will be building the skill set to establish a more holistic, egalitarian praxis in alignment with the life I will create. This program will not only allow me to be rooted in the legacy of Frederick Douglass's tremendous racial activism in Dublin, Ireland, but to be in connection with a network of individuals devoted to prosperous systemic change in the communities we are immersed in. There is a tremendous effort in world building that goes into both creating inclusive communities and producing art that challenges the status quo. I look to the past for inspiration on how to move forward. Frederick Douglass aided in the betterment of the entire world by putting his life, body, and legacy on the line. Just as Douglass's full-bodied belief in abolition moved him to travel the world to advocate for equity, I am committing my life and my body to do the same. Thank you for listening.